United States President-elect Donald Trump has dismissed the notion that he will transfer the presidency to billionaire Elon Musk. Trump's comments come a day after President Joe Biden signed a funding bill into law to prevent a government shutdown. The incoming president also giving his take on his relationship with Elon Musk and address a persistent talking point among Democrats that Musk is acting and will act as a shadow president.
The new one is, President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? No, he's not gonna be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe, you know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
Trump also spoke about several hot-button issues, including taking back the Panama Canal, renaming America's tallest mountain, and his border and immigration policy plans that would start on his first day back in office.
On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
On the CNN News, Democratic strategist Julie Rodzinski and Katie Frost, Republican strategist and former executive director for the Georgia Freedom Caucus, both had heated arguments on whether Trump or Musk will be in control of the presidency.
You know, this is, of course, the latest talking point we're seeing coming out of the Democratic Party, which is highly ironic, considering the Wall Street Journal report that dropped this week talking about how President Biden has been struggling to do the job since very early in his presidency. So apparently now it's a point of concern for Democrats, the idea that there might be someone other than the elected president trying to call shots, when that's exactly what's been happening for the last 4 years. I would love to know who's been the shadow president of our country for the last 4 years.
Well, it sounds like this is getting a little bit to Trump, right? Anybody who decides to elevate themselves to even pretend to be on par with Trump, Trump eventually gets rid of. And so I don't give this bromance much time. Katie, the difference is Elon Musk, who's not elected to anything, who's not appointed to anything through a confirmation process, is basically calling the shots and was calling the shots last week. He came out first to scuttle this bipartisan deal that led to a tremendous amount of chaos. And you have the Speaker of the House himself acknowledging that he was continuously talking to Elon Musk throughout this whole process. Who is Elon Musk but an unelected billionaire who has his own interests with this budget, and who obviously, as a result of those interests, decided to scuttle a deal that would somehow, shock or couple shocks, impact his business in China, among other things. And so, look, this is Trump reminding people and reminding Musk, I think, that he's paying attention. So very clearly, this is getting to Trump. And I'm glad. I'm going to sit back, as I keep saying, and drink my martini and watch this chaos unfold, because this is what the Republicans asked for, and they're getting it.
When the news broke out that Trump might not be in charge of the presidency, the stock market and the crypto market took a big hit as investors went into a selling spree, which caused major holding, like Bitcoin, to fall as low as $92,000 from its previous high of $108,000.
Bitcoin is a non-sovereign, hard cap supply, global, immutable, decentralized, digital store of value. And that's a lot of different adjectives, but all of them are very important. And what that leads us to is it is a hedge against monetary and fiscal irresponsibility from central banks and governments globally.
Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Doge, and Polkadot also took a hit. But since Donald Trump came on air to clear the rumors, we've seen tremendous recovery in the crypto market and the stock market. Since Donald Trump won the presidential election, most investors believe the bull market has began because so many stocks and crypto assets began to perform better than they've been doing for past several months. Now the people are saying the Democratic Party are deliberately spewing out misinformation just to cause panic in the market and reduce the Trump effect. Investors also believe that the market will do way better as soon as Donald Trump resumes office.
And having that certainty of knowing who's going to be in the White House and what the makeup, at least of the Senate, looks like, has been a pretty bullish signal for a lot of investors. And part of that is because of the promises that Trump made throughout his campaign, which is extending those tax cuts from 2017. Remember, that lowered the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. He intends to keep it there, maybe even take it lower. He's promised lower taxes for some companies. There's that, of course. There's a lot of spending being talked about through his administration, whether that's infrastructure, whether that's for defense, whether that's for deportation. So government spending also pretty bullish for stocks and for companies. But also, if you think about some of these other policies, making things in America, how he's going to maybe undo the CHIPS Act, maybe reform the Securities and Exchange Commission, less regulation, all of that is bullish signals for investors who are looking for clarity. They have it now.
Crypto in general is in a much better spot into 2025 than any prior year in recent history. Ripple reportedly to donate $5 million in XRP to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration per Fox, meaning Trump will hold XRP by force by donation. And we know Trump, like all politicians, like to serve his donors. You scratch his back, you're loyal to him. He's usually tries to be loyal to you also. And have you connected the dots on Ondo yet? This week, Kraken and Ondo donated $1 million each to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. Here was that exact piece of news. Ondo Finance is contributing $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration fund, backing the new administration's drive to strengthen America's global financial leadership through digital asset innovation. Founder and CEO of Ondo said this in a direct quote as the leader in the real-world asset space. Ondo Finance is dedicated to making sure financial assets are more accessible globally through innovative blockchain solutions. By supporting this vision, we aim to be a collaborative partner in shaping policies that promote broader access to U.S. financial markets and enhance their competitiveness on the world stage. Ono also making moves. We also just got a huge buy of Bitcoin from the government of El Salvador, just one day after the IMF agreed to a $3.3 billion loan in return for making Bitcoin acceptance voluntary. El Salvador buys $1 million worth of Bitcoin, more than 10x their usual 1 Bitcoin per day. Now El Salvador is taking the IMF's money. The IMF said the only way we'll give you this loan is if you don't force people to accept Bitcoin, you make it voluntary. El Salvador said yes, but then 10x their usual daily buy.
And now in South America, El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele has proposed establishing a Bitcoin bank in the country. Once approved, the private investment bank would offer Bitcoin investors more financial services than conventional banks. The Salvadoran ambassador to the United States said, quote, "As part of our economic plan for El Salvador, we propose a bank for private investment where we can diversify the financing options offered to potential investors in dollars and Bitcoins," end quote. Meanwhile, Bukele's senior Bitcoin advisor has pointed out that some predictions say El Salvador's actual GDP could increase tenfold in the next 5 years if the country stays with its Bitcoin adoption plan under Bukele's presidency.